Hello guys, what is going on? Today we are doing a Forsaken Survivors tier list. So I have recently loved this game. I find it very fun, and I actually find Survivor a lot of fun, so I thought I would rank Survivors on how good they are. This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying this from an objective state. This is my opinion on which Survivors are the best and worst, just from experience. I've played every single Survivor, and I'm not an expert at every single one. As you can see, all the gameplay is mine, so let's just hop right into it. Alright, first thing, we got Noob. Noob is a very decent, middle-of-the-road character. Noob doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He's just a decent, solid survivalist. He's got the Bloxy Cola, which can help him escape and pre-run, or it can help him gain distance and chase. He's got the Ghost Burger, which can help him hide so he can stay on gens, and he's got the Slate Skin Potion. This is probably his best ability. This allows him to extend chases. It can allow like a Shaletsky or a Guest to get a stun. It can allow Elliot to heal him. It can allow a Dusakar to get his shield off. In Last Man Standing, it can help you regain stamina. It's a generally very helpful ability that, albeit does require pretty good technical skill and game knowledge, because it can get you killed if used incorrectly. That being said, Noob is a C tier, which in my opinion, he's just a decent, middle-of-the-road character. He kind of gets outclassed by other survivalists, but he's just a decent character. Alright, next up we got Shaletsky. Shaletsky is a very good sentinel mixed with a survivalist. He doesn't play like a survivalist. You're not going to play Shaletsky by staying on gens the entire game. What Shaletsky's good at is getting into chase. He's good at being chased and staying in chase for as long as possible. He's got his stun, which is a very good stun. It has a little bit of a lengthy cooldown, but it lasts for quite a bit, and it can allow Shaletsky to either eat a chicken wing, gain back stamina, make distance. It's a solid stun, and like I said, the chicken wings. Now, the chicken wings allow him to theoretically tank the most amount of damage of any character, just using their abilities and whatnot. No med kits, no Elliot's Pizza, nothing. Because he can heal back a total of 80 health, 40 per chicken wing, assuming he doesn't get hit while the regen of the chicken wing is happening. I'm gonna say, just because of how versatile Shaletsky is and how he can work in a competent team, or he can work on his own, I am going to give Shaletsky a solid A tier. He is very good. He just gets decent value. He's a very good and solid survivor. Alright, next up we got Elliot. Elliot is probably the most consistent support character in this game. He has pizzas that heal people. They go on a bit of a lengthy cooldown, but the cool thing about his healing is that it goes up the more gens that are popped, the more objectives that are complete. This is cool because survivalists actually have kind of a use, because a lot of the times if you're running survivalists on a team and the killer's really good and you all start dying really fast, it kind of just makes the survivalist useless, because the amount of the time that gets shaved off of gens versus the time that people are getting killed by doesn't really help. But Elliot at least gets a little bit of value because his healing gets better, which allows the team to survive for longer, which means that it's less likely that someone dies. So the second thing he's got is Rush Hour. This can be used to get to a survivor that really, really needs healing, or it can be used to escape chases. It can be used in the early game, it can be used in the late game. It's a little sparse because you only get like one of them, so you have to really think about when you're going to use it, but it's a very, very good ability that allows Elliot to survive for long. It can allow him to run to a character that can protect him or something, especially a Guest. Elliot, however, does struggle because he is the second. He's the first, or depending on who you ask, the second lowest health character, only being behind Chance sometimes. But he's very consistent and works on a lot of different comps, so I'm gonna say he goes just below Shaletsky because of just how good he is. Alright, next up we got Build-A-Man. Build-A-Man is a trapper, and he is very good at... He has two things. He can make dispensers, which provide healing, which is a very good thing. Only other character that can heal other teammates is Elliot, so that is very helpful. Albeit, the dispensers heal very slowly, so it does mean that sometimes teammates will have quite a bit of downtime, which can be a bad thing. But also, he has the sentries. The sentries are good if you can put them in dead zones. If you put them in dead zones, then it can allow survivors to get to another loop, or if a survivor doesn't know how to loop, it at least is going to extend their chase for a little bit longer and maybe let them live. He's especially good on the ninja map. I forgot the Assassin's Battleground, or whatever it's called, because you can put them in the water, and that'll make the killer have to use even more, like, waste even more time breaking your turrets, because then they'll be slowed afterwards. However, Builderman, like, he's a little harder to play. You need to know good placement, and he's a little bit more situational. He's also, like, not as sought after. Like, Elliot's are really, really important to a team, but, like, if your Builderman dies first thing, then, like, it's not too big of a deal. It's a shame, but, like, it's still a recoverable match. So I'm gonna say he has he's B tier. He has his niches, but he's not exactly A tier. He's not getting consistent value. Alright, next up we got 7 and 7. 7 and 7 is probably the best survivalist in this game. He has the cool GUI, which can be used to escape killers before they even find you. It can be used to travel to another gen really quickly. It's very, very good in Last Man Standing, which I'll talk about later. It's just a generally good ability if you can stay hidden. Then he's got his clone. His clone has... The main use of it is using it to drop chase easily. If you can fool the killer with it, then you can easily escape a chase. But your clones can also be used to try to trick killers to redirect chase to somebody else. They can be used to parry killer attacks. So, like, if you're low on health and the killer tries to do an attack, you can send your clone out so that way you don't die and the clone takes a hit for you instead. That being said, he does lose value on, like, comps that have a hard time surviving, so usually 7 and 7 will be, like, Last Man Standing, and there he thrives. The cool GUI can allow you to teleport to the other side of the map, and it's hard for some killers to find you. Jason will have a hard time. Cool Kid will have an especially hard time finding you. And he's just he's a decent survivor, but he is, like I said, a little more situational. He's a little bit more selfless. He's good on comps where you have, like, incompetent teammates who don't know how to survive. So I'm gonna put him in B tier, just above Builderman. He's high B for me, high B, low A. So yeah, that's where I'd put him. Alright, next up, Guest. Guest is probably the hardest Sentinel to play in this game, but he is extremely good. While Shaletsky is good because he can stay in his own chase for a very long time and hold chase and distract the killer, Guest's role is to redirect chase to himself, live as long as possible, and then get healed or something and keep the chase going. His best ability, in my opinion, is probably his charge. This allows to not only slow down the killer so a survivor can get distance, but also it has a high likelihood of making the killer want to change targets, and that's, like, what I think makes him so good. He's got the block, which can allow him to block certain hits. It can block basic attacks, it can block special attacks like Walk Speed Overdrive. Very good ability, and that charges his punch, which is a pretty good stun that has a good amount of range to it. And Guest also has the highest natural HP in the game. He has 115, so he's really good at taking hits. So because of all these factors, Guest is an S tier. The only thing that I say that Guest, the only problem with Guest, I'd say, is that he's just very hard to learn. He's a very, very hard Sentinel to learn. He's not as easy as someone like Shaletsky. Alright, Two-Time. Two-Time is like, is also like a mixture of, like Shaletsky, where it's like a survivalist mixed with a Sentinel, but like, not in like Shaletsky's way. It's kind of like reversed. It's like, you're mainly a survivalist, but the Sentinel thing takes a back seat. You can revive yourself if you get enough stabs. Backstabs will stun the killer for 2.5 seconds, and those will fill up like 50% of your meter. And front stabs will kind of do nothing. They just make the killer helpless and slow for a second, and usually you'll end up just getting hit or worse. Like, so front stabs aren't as good. You can crouch, which turns your lunge into, your knife stab into a lunge. And you're pretty squishy. You've got 80 health. You also regain health on stabs, so you are less reliant on characters like Elliot or Builderman or something like that, as long as you can land your stabs. Two-Time is also one of those characters that is really good on comps that are not very good at staying alive. He's a decent survivalist. He can be played a little bit more aggressively than 7n7 or Noob, but I don't think he's as good as 7n7. But I think he's better than Builderman, so I'd say he gets a B tier, just below 7n7. All right. Next up, we've got Dusakar. Dusakar is clowned on in this game for probably being the worst character in this game. I personally disagree. I don't think Dusakar is the worst character in this game. I do think, however, he is not very good. First up, his passive is that he floats. This makes it so that he doesn't make footsteps. I guess it's a nice little cute thing. It doesn't really ever come to play too much, mainly because if killers are sprinting near survivors, they lose stamina, but anytime else, they just gain stamina, so like it's pretty easy to tell where survivors are. With that, Dusakar has two abilities. The first one is Spawn Protection. This gives a survivor Resistance 5, which is effectively means they can't die. This helps because it allows you to pretty much regain stamina for free, but you have to stay in line of sight. So that's something. That's the one downside of it. This might also make killers want to target you instead. They'll just go after you, which can be bad. Especially because you have 90 health, which makes you squishier, but not as squishy as someone like Elliot. And then you've got the Zap, which speeds up survivors, and I think slows killers. It might stun them, but I don't know. And that can be good. It can either help a survivor gain distance. It helps a survivor gain distance either way. Good killers won't sprint while slowed, so that helps survivors regain stamina for free. However, Dusakar really requires a competent team. He can help on incompetent teams, like because of the whole survivability thing, but most of the time you will just end up getting targeted by the killer, especially against an incompetent team, and Dusakar doesn't really have anything to sustain himself in chase. He doesn't really have any chase power like Elliot or Shaletsky does. So I'd say he gets an unfortunate C tier because of how situational he is as a character. Above Elliot though, definitely above Elliot. Like low B if he theoretically could be better, but I just think because of like how reliant he is on having a good team that he really suffers from that, so I think he gets a C tier. I definitely don't think he's the worst character in the game. I think he has a use, definitely. He's just a very situational use. Alright, we've got Taff. Taff is an extremely fucking good survivor. Looping is already a really strong thing in this game that can waste the killer's time for a very long time, and Taff locks down loops. He's the opposite of Builderman. Builderman helps make dead zones safer. Taff makes loops stronger. He's got the tripwires, which slow down the killer, which means you can just get free stamina and chase. And then he's got the subspace mines. These fuck with the killer's camera. Sometimes I've literally seen killers sprint in the opposite fucking direction, and it makes them helpless as well. I think it slows them down, but I don't know. I don't think it does that. But Taff is extremely fucking good. I've had games where I've just looped as Taff. I've gotten games where I've just survived the endgame. Taff is really good at teaching survivors to loop, and even after they've learned how to loop, he makes loops just so much more stronger. I think there's genuinely some places on maps that become infinites with Taff. So because of that, Taff gets an S tier. I say Taff is the best survivor in this game. I think he is genuinely just that good. Alright. Finally, we've got Chance. Chance is a very weird character because he lives in the anomaly at both being like the best and the worst character in the game. Despite his name, Chance doesn't really require on luck too much, which may sound crazy. So you've got the coin, you flip it, you either get a charge or a stack of weakness that lasts for 15 seconds. The stacks of weakness stack indefinitely. Alright, first, you've got a gun. The gun has 3 results. It has a 50% chance of shooting a bullet, a 25% chance of shooting a blank, and a 25% chance of misfiring and doing 45 damage. However, the more subsequent stacks you have, the higher chance it goes up by 20% for a successful shot and lowers the chances of a unsuccessful or undesirable outcome happening by 10%. So at 3 stacks, it is guaranteed that you get a successful revolver shot. And the revolver shot is a very good, well, it's a flintlock, but whatever. The gunshot is an extremely good stun. You can use it at a range, which already makes it good. It can help redirect the killer onto you, or it can just allow you to stun from a safe distance. And that is just probably the best stun in the game. It also deals the most damage, so that's like, I guess, something cute. I don't think you ever end up killing the killer. I don't think you physically can unless, like, the killer's really bad. So, but I guess it's just something cute. Maybe if they add, like, a killer with really low health, then that'll be something to look out for. But then, you have reroll. So Chance starts out with a random amount of health. I think it's between 70 and 80, or like 70 and 90. And you can re-roll your health. I have gotten upwards of 130 HP and downwards of like 60 HP with this ability. Every stack gives a 3% additive to the amount of health you get, and this can make Chance a very, very hard character to take out because of just how much health he has. Makes it even worse if he's gang healed. And then he's got Hat Trick. Hat Trick removes all your stacks of weakness, and any subsequent ones you would have gotten from flipping the coin. So it resets your weakness to 0, and if you have like a weakness, so if you're like rocking like weakness 30, then it'll get rid of the status effect for you. And if your gun misfired and exploded on you, you get it back. I think Chance, despite how much luck base he's had, if you can get lucky with the amount of things you get, he becomes extremely solid. So I'm gonna say he is an A tier, just above Shaletsky. I mean, just below Shaletsky, but still a very, very solid Sentinel that can also tank quite a bit of damage. He is a little bit reliant on heals because if he gets screwed over by Lady Luck and gets a lot of weakness early into the game, he can take undesirable amounts of damage. Alright, so this is my Forsaken tier list as of the Noli update. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Twitch. If this releases on a Sunday, I will be playing Forsaken, so check that out on my Twitch. That's all I got for you guys today, and bye!